When you look back through the history of the British motor industry, well, we've always been renowned for our sports cars, but over the last 20 years, we've also become renowned for destroying our sports car industry. Look at the great names that have gone: the MGs, the Austin Healey's, the Jensens, the Triumphs. But one name that proves for all that small is beautiful is Morgan. Founded in 1909, the company is as strong today as it's ever been. In 1968, Morgan surprised the motor industry by persuading Rover to allow them to use the then brand new light alloy V8 engine, 3.5 litre, transformed the performance of the Morgan Plus 8 as it became, a real fire-eating sports car. And that car continues substantially changed to this day. Morgan bodies are still built out of ash, as they always were, but how can a car built today pass modern crash legislation with bodywork like this? Charles Morgan.
To go back into America, we've had to fit full airbag system, a depowered system to the car. And obviously while we were engineering that, we made quite a few changes for safety reasons. And we were very, very pleased to achieve one of the lowest injury criteria on a passenger dummy ever recorded at Mara.
Charles, the motor industry changing fast around you with foreign ownership of a lot of your component suppliers. How is that affecting Morgan?
Well, we watch with absolute fascination. I mean, perhaps eventually we'll become the only British-owned motor firm left. But having said all that, I think we've got to work with these guys very closely. And we've got to obviously have other things for them than perhaps volume and lots of orders. So our heritage helps enormously, because obviously they do have a little bit of respect for the fact that we've been going nearly 100 years now. And you know, I think the basic thing is to make sure that you know, we don't do exactly what they're doing. So we do actually try and do something just a little bit different.
But you're not thinking of putting the BMW V8 in just yet?
Well, that would be saying, wouldn't it? Anything is possible in Morgan.
You've got enough room in that chassis for anything. When the cars come off the production line at most manufacturers, they go onto the rolling road for a brief checkover before they're dispatched to the showrooms. Not at Morgan. Every car has trade plates attached and sets off for a 10-mile thorough drive around the hills of Malvern. So, Charles, tell me, how many cars are Morgan making today?
Well, Chris, last year we produced 500, and of those sort of half were exported. We're going back into America with the Plus 8, and so we hope to build more like about 600, 650 in the coming year.
How have manufacturing practices changed at the factory here? I mean, there's still an enormous amount of handwork in the car.
Well, they haven't changed that much. I mean, we are known for our coach building, and the customer buys the car because it is a coach-built car, and what that means is it obviously has a separate chassis, it has an ash frame, it's panelled in aluminium. Having said that, the materials that they're using have got better and better and better. Even the wood is actually better now than it used to be. And obviously the processes that we use, you know, like powder coating or painting with water-based paint has improved enormously. But no, we've cut out a lot of wastage. It's interesting. I mean, now the car, on average, from start to finish, takes 20 days, whereas a year ago it took 38. And that's just purely cutting out the waiting time and the wasted time in the process. And you know, we've cut our work in progress down from by half, really, from 100 cars down to 50 cars actually being part built at any one time. There's
been quite a lot of sort of changes to Morgan over the last few years. The car looks the same, but tell me about the car under the skin. It's changed quite substantially.
Well, yes, it's now got a 4.6 litre aluminium V8 engine. That used to be 3.9. So I suppose the major change really is an awful lot more torque. The cockpit's much longer now. It's easier to get in and out of. You know, partly this was because people are getting bigger. You know, the milk's better or something, and a lot of our German owners couldn't fit in, so we had to create an awful lot more space in the cockpit. We achieved that with the same wheelbase, the same chassis, but it also was very important to incorporate the lessons we learnt during airbag testing.
So what's the future of this little Malvern company? Well, the order book is as full as ever, and they're shortly going into the States, where thousands of Americans will no doubt want a Morgan too. So the future is assured. From being the biggest family-owned British motor company, who knows, they could soon be the biggest British-owned motor company.